The SDGs. The Sustainable Development Goals, or better known as the SDGs, are the blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. They address the global challenges we are currently facing, including poverty and inequality, while protecting the ecosystem and environment in general, and maintaining peace and justice. It provides a more precise explanation of the circumstances we should address and solutions that people should take part in. For that reason, the general public must clearly understand the importance of living their lives sustainably and in accordance with the UN's principles. The UN Foundation emphasizes to leave no one behind by focusing on ideas and initiatives that generate larger impact. They encourage everyone to contribute towards achieving the goals. One of the 17 SDGs is quality education. It focuses on inclusive and equitable quality education and promotes lifelong learning opportunities for all. It includes 10 targets that concentrate on the specific components of education to promote further development.
The first target is primary and secondary education. The provision of 12 years of free, publicly funded, inclusive, equitable, quality primary and secondary education, of which at least 9 years are compulsory, leading to relevant learning outcomes, should be ensured for all without discrimination. The second target is early childhood. The provision of at least 1 year of free and compulsory quality pre-primary education is encouraged to be delivered by well-trained educators as well as that of early childhood development and care. The third target is affordable technical, vocational, tertiary, and adult education. It is imperative to reduce barriers to skills development in technical and vocational education and training, starting from the secondary level as well as the tertiary education, including university, and to provide lifelong learning opportunities for youth and adults. The provision of tertiary education should be made progressively free in line with the existing international agreements. The fourth target, skills for work, aims at two things. First is that equitable access to TVET needs to be expanded while quality is ensured. Learning opportunities should be increased and diversified, using a wide range of education and training modalities so that all youth and adults, especially girls and women, can acquire relevant knowledge, skills, and competencies for decent work and life. Second, beyond work-specific skills, emphasis must be placed on developing high-level cognitive and non-cognitive or transferable skills such as problem-solving, critical thinking, creativity, teamwork, communication skills, and conflict resolution, which can be used across a range of occupational fields.
The fifth target is to eliminate all discrimination in education. All people, irrespective of sex, age, race, color, ethnicity, language, religion, political or other opinions, national or social origin, property or birth, as well as persons with disabilities, migrants, indigenous peoples, and children and youth, especially those in vulnerable situations or other status, should have access to inclusive, equitable quality education and lifelong learning opportunities. Everyone should have equal opportunity to enjoy education of high quality, achieve at equal levels, and enjoy equal benefits from education. The sixth target is universal literacy and numeracy. By 2030, all young people and adults across the world should have achieved relevant and recognized proficiency levels in functional literacy and numeracy skills that are equivalent to levels achieved at the successful completion of basic education. The seventh target is sustainable development and global citizenship. The knowledge, skills, values, and attitudes required by citizens to lead productive lives, make informed decisions, and assume active roles locally and globally in facing and resolving global challenges can be acquired through education for sustainable development and global citizenship education, which includes peace and human rights education, as well as intercultural education and education for international understanding.
The eighth target, education facilities and learning environments. This target addresses the need for adequate physical infrastructure and safe, inclusive environments that nurture learning for all, regardless of background or disability status. The ninth target, scholarships. Developed countries offer scholarships to students from developing countries. These should be structured to build the capability of the developing country. While the importance of scholarships is recognized, donor countries are encouraged to increase other forms of support to education. The 10th and the last target are teachers. As teachers are a fundamental condition for guaranteeing quality education, teachers and educators should be empowered, adequately recruited and remunerated, motivated, professionally qualified, and supported within well-resourced, efficient, and effectively governed systems.
The Philippines, being a developing country, has adequate resources to aid children's education. However, many Filipino children still lack opportunities to learn. Due to low investment and efforts over the past decade in terms of children and education, outdated teaching strategies, and limited attention to the development of children's social and emotional skills made Filipino children fall behind. This situation is especially worse for children who are vulnerable and disabled, including the indigenous as well.
However, the Philippines still has so much to go through to attain universal access to quality schooling, specifically in primary and secondary education. There has also been a growing concern with the limited number of teachers, with some of them having low knowledge on a certain subject, insufficient classrooms, and school supplies. So what can we do about it, given the previous statistics and our current situation?
With the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, the majority of countries globally announced the temporary closure of schools due to the surge in the number of cases in the area. Never before have so many children been absent from school, at the same time interrupting learning and upsetting lives, particularly for the most vulnerable and marginalized. The global pandemic has far-reaching outcomes that might endanger the progress of improving the quality of education for children.
UNESCO is responding with global monitoring of national and local school closures to encourage international collaboration and guarantee that education never stops. In March 2020, UNESCO launched the COVID-19 Global Education Coalition. The Global Education Coalition targets to help countries raise resources and come up with innovative and contextual solutions to secure proper education with different types of approaches in this pandemic. Aim for equality and guaranteed universal access to education. Provide organized responses and prevent overlapping efforts. And assist the return of students when the school reopened to avoid the high number of dropout rates.
Education transforms lives.
We must ensure the children
Are ready for school.
And schools are ready for children.
Learn more and take action.